Hello, I'm Barry McCormick. Welcome to the BastilleBSD video series. Today we're going to talk about bridge jails. A bridge jail is one type of vnet jail. If you remember, you can create a standard jail, you can create a vnet jail, you can create a vnet bridge jail. You can also create an empty jail, Linux jail, and a thick jail. Today we're going to focus strictly on setting up a bridged interface and setting up bridged jails. Some users like the bridged setup better than any of the others because they feel like it keeps the networking a lot cleaner. Okay, let's jump in. As usual, I have up the BastilleBSD website, link to the documentation right there in the middle of the main website. Okay, I go to the documentation. Let's go down to the create command. -B, we're going to focus strictly on the bridged interface. Let me slide this over so you can see what it says. Bridged, the -B enables a vnet container attached to an already existing external bridge. This already existing external bridge is the part we have to do prior to creating a bridged container. Now, remember vnet jail, you can create -VM. Notice if you create a vnet jail, you set it to whatever the physical interface is. If you create a bridge jail, you attach it to a bridge. Let's go to the networking section on bridge networking. Okay. First set of the documentation here shows how to manually create a bridge. ifconfig bridge create. ifconfig bridge 0 add member em0. So whatever your physical interface is, on my VM it's vtnet 0. If you're on a server and the physical interface is BCE 0, whatever your physical interface is, you put there. So ifconfig bridge, add member, physical interface, and up. Don't forget up. Very important. Optionally, you can rename the bridge if you want to. ifconfig bridge 0 name, Bastille 0 bridge. Once you do those 3 steps, create the bridge, add members, rename it if you want to rename. Bastille create -B Folsom. And that creates a bridge, or creates a bridge container. Okay. Now we looked at the documentation. Let's go over here. As usual, I'm on a Beehive VM. I do ifconfig. You see the only things that I have there is the vtnet 0 physical interface and the loopback adapter LO0. So now, go back to what we said. First we're going to do the ifconfig bridge create. Now I have a bridge there. Now I'm going to rename it real quick. Okay. Now I need to add members to this. Notice now I have a Bastille 0 bridge. I have a member. vtnet 0 is now a member of this bridge. Now if I go and I create a container, -B. So the command I ran, Bastille Create -B. So create -B, do a bridge, named it Folsom. Release is 14.2. I told it DHCP to get an address, and then Bastille 0 bridge. So now if I do ifconfig again, now not only is there the Bastille bridge, you have these E pairs that were created. E0A with the name of Folsom. Notice that these E pairs are members of this bridge. So now if I do Bastille list all, it is up and running, has an address of 105. Going to just install package just to prove to you that the networking is working. There it is, downloading and extracting data. So the networking works. Okay. Now, there's the jail. If I go back to ifconfig. Problem is we created this stuff manually. So if you reboot the system, as long as it's not rebooted, it'll sit here and work perfectly. But the second you reboot this system, okay, we don't have a bridge here. We've got where it's tried to create some E pairs and not attached to anything. Now if I do, notice the jail is down. It wasn't able to start the jail because it couldn't find the interface. So let me clean up this mess real quick. Okay, now they're back to clean and have vnet 0 and L0s are only interfaces. What you need to do is, and it is in the documentation here, add these 3 lines to your rc.conf file. Clone interface, bridge 0, ifconfig bridge 0 name, ifconfig Bastille 0 bridge, add member vnet 0 up. Notice these 3 lines are doing the same thing in the rc.conf we did manually up here. So let's go edit the rc.conf file on this machine. I cheated and put these lines in here so you don't have to sit here and watch me type. Let me uncomment these out. These are exactly what are in the documentation. And I've commented out the cloned interface L01 and Bastille 0 since we're not using it. Now I do that. Now I reboot. So we booted it, and then there's the Bastille Zero bridge. Now if we create the gel. Again, it created a set of E pairs with the name of Folsom. They're a member of that bridge. So we went through two ways of doing it. Once the manual way to show you the steps behind it. The second way is editing the rc.conf file, which is the way you should do it to where upon a reboot, all of the interface, the bridge and the interfaces come back up. Hopefully today's video's been informative and shown you how to create a Bastille bridge gel system. As always, happy computing.